For the people of Guangxi, every day starts with a bowl of noodle soup. This is true because the breakfast for Guangxi people is normally noodle soup with unique taste and tempting flavor. There is a huge variety of noodle soups in Guangxi. The well-familiar ones are Guilin Mifen, Liuqiu Lo Sufen, and Nanying Liufen. However, there are numerous styles of noodle soups all across Guangxi. The pig trotter noodle soup of Qinzhou, the beef bacon noodle soup of Ulin, the seafood noodle soup of Beihai, the benyang noodle with sour sauce, the fried noodle of Wuchou, and others like extruding noodle, noodle rolls, and noodle soups with abundant ingredients and toppings. Incomplete statistics show that there are more than 100 different styles of rice noodle soups in Guangxi, exclusive of those without names. It is also said that every city in Guangxi has an iconic noodle soup, which is always regarded as one of the symbols of the city. It's a saying popular in Guangxi that one should sing the folk song and eat the noodle soup of where he's in, as the locals there do. In this episode, we will talk about Lo Sufen. Lo Sufen of Liuqiu, a river snail rice noodle soup, has the same characteristic as the Liuqiu people: hot and straightforward. A day in Liuqiu is also kicked off with a bowl of Lo Sufen. Although the main character of Lo Sufen is the rice noodle, the other supporting roles contribute significantly to the concoction of the noodle soup. Its unique flavor has much to do with these little snails, though looking ordinary. The history of snails served as a delicacy by Liuqiu people is much longer than that of the noodle. Snails were enjoyed by the ancestors of Liuqiu more than 20,000 years before noodle was made food. In Bailian, cave of Liuqiu, stacks of tail-off snail shells were found. According to the archaeologists, they dated back to the Paleolithic age, meaning that over 30,000 years ago, the ancestors of this region already knew the recipe of making snails. When did the Liuqiu people combine the snail and noodle and create this extraordinary local cuisine? There's a story behind it. It is said, when Liu Zhangyuan, the great writer in Tang Dynasty, was exiled to Liuqiu, he could hardly eat anything because of the depression and physical weakness. His chef was so anxious that he worked out a recipe, soaking the rice noodle in a snail-flavored broth which was topped with locally grown vegetables and spices. Liu Zhangyuan appreciated it so much, and since then, the fame of Lo Sufen had been widely spread. Leaving alone the story, snail can indeed treat the sickness caused by unacclimatization. As with the records and collection of Materia Medica published in the Ming Dynasty, snail is cold in nature and can effectively balance the heat resulted from excess dampness and dryness of interior condition of the body, or high temperature of the weather. Also, because of its extreme cold nature, since ancient times, snail has always been cooked with some local spices which are regarded as with warm nature, such as the star anises to reduce coldness, the cinnamon to keep warm, or the red peppers to remove dampness. The ingredients and spices for Lo Sufen are no secret at all, but the proportion of them and the recipe is kept secret by each restaurant. In the catering industry of Liuqiu, Ni Yaoyang is a big name. He's the head of Lo Sufen Association of Liuqiu, titled China's Master Chef, and chairman of the board of a listed company. Talking about Lo Sufen, Ni was excited. In order to show us how to make the authentic lo sufen, he led us to the local market and bought some fresh ingredients. Putting on chef's white, he said that the soul of lo sufen is the soup.
很多人知道，好像把螺丝啊、筒骨啊、鸡啊一起炖汤好了啊，但是都没想到，其实真正要做好这碗螺丝汤，处理这个螺丝，那倒是有讲究了。那螺丝呢，还必须前处理，比如说煮水，还必须焙干，还必须炒制蒸香，把螺丝的泥腥味去掉，把它的螺丝的香味炒制出来。
During the frying, dozens of spices are put in. Until the snails fully give out the scent, they are put into the broth stewed with pig marrow bones and chicken. After another 4 or 5 hours rolling boil, the rich snail broth could finally be made. Lo sufen only uses dried rice noodle. Processes like fermentation or aging could bring changes to its texture. First softened in water of normal temperature, and then boiled for 20 seconds, the noodle can achieve the silky and al dente state. Served with toppings like fried tofu skin, sour bamboo shoots, deep-fried peanuts, daylily, and in a spicy broth, the noodle soup is unparalleled. People now remember Liuqiu for lo sufen, or for the taste of the city. "20 years ago, Ni started his business from a corner stall in Liuqiu. The lo sufen he made was so delicious that it attracted a large number of eaters every day. The business kept growing, and in 2015, Ni's House of Taste Technology Company Limited became the first listed food company in Guangxi. From a stall owner to a chairman of the board, Ni's made his name as well as witnessing the legendary development of lo sufen. In the past 2 decades, lo sufen grew from an insignificant regional snack to one of the hottest national specialty foods. The lo sufen industry of Liuqiu has developed also pre-packaged lo sufen, which is easy for preservation and transportation, and further sold to Southeast Asia, Japan, and America. People around the globe can now enjoy the authentic flavor of lo sufen even from home. Being just noodle soup without stunning appearance, though, lo sufen contains rich culture and profound history, and also carries the taste of home.